Why was there a Porsche in the Blackbird?
Yeah. So this is the first time that I'm like, oh, my belief is a little bit unsuspended.
Gen Wars. Welcome back to Gen Wars, the combative and sometimes agreeable podcast between the Gen Xers and the now not sick millennials.
I'm healed. I can
He's
walk the
healed.
earth again.
Excellent. So today we're going to be going over X-Men 97, Episode 8, the, what's it called? The Tolerance is Extinction Part 1. This is a 3-part series. So we left off, and we're going to have 2 more episodes in the upcoming weeks, which I'm very excited about. We developed a set of topics to keep us on track. Those topics are nostalgia bias, production value, spirit, intent, and emotional value, rewatchability, and overall thoughts and predictions. Before we get into this, make sure you like and subscribe, and spoiler warning, if you haven't watched this episode, get over there or wherever you're going to go watch it, come back, and then listen to us have a little discussion about this. So, Steven, let's get into it. What's your nostalgia bias of this episode?
So I think a little bit of like just Cable. I think Cable's design works the best in the new animated, I don't want to call it style, but like process. He's got a lot of lines to work with. He looks exactly from the show. I know they've made minor character adjustments, but I think him and Nightcrawler are the most like comic book design, especially when you're talking about line work. So I think that is a big nostalgia. Now, here's something that I don't know for sure, but Nightcrawler using swords was oddly nostalgic for me. I don't know if that was a callback because it's like on the foggy parts of my memories with this show, but I really seem to recall like that was a rarity thing, like maybe happened one other time, and that was really really cool.
I don't recall him having them all the time, but he does have them in a lot of his artwork that he has, whether it be like the old cards or other in issues. He would have the swords occasionally. There were, you know, because he didn't really have, other than bamfing around, he didn't really have any weaponry to speak of. But yeah, I do remember. I mean, that's a nostalgic piece for me that I always remembered him having the swords, and when he got thrown against the fireplace and the 2 swords clanked to the ground, I got real excited because I knew they were coming.
Yeah, and the 3-sword style is always cool when you can implement it. Like,
oh yeah,
like one piece.
So many
in this
good one-liners. You know, when Wolverine. I have six reasons why, and
no,
then
you have 9.
we have 9 now, which with the 3 swords.
Yeah,
fantastic.
The writing team. I'll talk about it more later when we get under production.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
as we're gonna fast forward into the episode, but they were just dropping. They were like Marvel character. Here you go. Here's
Spider-Man.
Silver Samurai. Here's Zemo, here's Spider-Man. What? Like,
Fox property.
You know, they only own the movie rights, though.
No, but now they have everything because all in one place. It's all.
Well, yeah, but I knew that they still own the rights, but it was just nice to see them that they again drew the character. They have the artwork now, so now we can have some Spider-Man if they want to toss it and sprinkle him in there whenever they want to use it.
Yeah, I think
fantastic.
They're doing a good job of sprinkling, but not making it feel like too much of a...
Hold on, it's Sony, not Fox? Fox is those 2 different. Sony owns the Spider-Man.
I thought Sony had
video games and movies,
and then Fox had TV, and then they lost. Like Disney now has the ability to do that, obviously.
Pretty much. Disney's just grabs everything and they're like, come here, we're going to take care of this.
Right. So I think like they have a limited amount of Spider-Man movies they can do, and they're putting that all into Spider-Verse, and that's why they're making so many like villain movies that are kind of mid because they're just like maintaining the contract at that point.
Yeah, they have to make so many movies in order to keep the IP.
Yeah, that's why they're
under
making, like,
their
a Craven movie
umbrella.
and those things.
Yeah, which I think that's coming out this summer. I don't know.
My favorite time was when he said it's Craven time, and then
yeah, we're doing that now. We're gonna go
I hope every
Morphin time to Craven time.
Yeah, every movie.
Or Morbin. Sorry, Morbin time.
Yeah,
not
it's Morbin
Morphin
time. Come on, that's my favorite part of that movie.
Oh man, so I guess this can move into production value, but they have done a great job with being able to sprinkle in all those all the other characters that we'll probably see down the road in season 2 and season 3. They have the ability to use them if they want to, or not, or just give us that little pop. And I sitting here at my desk watching it, freaking out. I was like, oh my god, we got Doom just all of a sudden pops up on our screen. Like, that is so good. Those little bits just get me.
The writing team gets a raise. I have deemed it so. They are now getting a raise.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I'll sign off on that. Hold on, I'll sign the paper right now.
for all of Nightcrawler's dialogue in the series is just nailed.
So good. So I said he's one of them. I said he's one of the most insightful characters.
Yes,
like,
truly.
He just comes in. Maybe it's the preacher roots, or
he's following that monk
he is,
like persona too.
Yeah,
perfectly. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know how much we got of that in the original show, but it feels like it's on display here in its best form.
It's almost, well, we're all older now, so I think if they had dropped that on a bunch of kids, we would have been like, I don't know what's happening.
I feel like they were
his line
dancing mature themes, though, even in the original run. So I don't know. I can't just sit through and rewatch it again. Right now, at least, definitely something to consider in the future. And maybe that adds to like rewatchability of this episode. Not to skip ahead either on that, but also Bastion's dialogue is very, very good, very evil, very, very good.
That was a full 5-minute scene of just him explaining his master plan and just walking the senator and everybody through what he's doing, and you're like, yeah, oh man, you are killing this. Like, it's so good.
Right.
It's so good.
He was like, beyond the alliteration, like Genova wasn't a genocide. And I was like,
yes.
Lol, what? So someone wrote that like Oh my god. And then even like his little one-liners with all of the business people, it's like, okay, yeah, that's funny. That's a good line too. And I'm just going to zing one out here, and then the call's going to end.
I wonder do you know, I don't know, not that you would know this, but the size of the writing team, or is it one guy?
Oh,
I'm assuming it wasn't one guy. I'm assuming it was at least a few people.
But
I know that the guy who was let go was the one who came to them with the storyline.
Right.
And then I'm assuming he put together a team, but that team was
whoever's on dialogue for sure, at least.
yeah. If not everybody.
Have him or her write for everything, because beyond like maybe first Iron Man, and I'm sure that's a lot of Robert Downey coming through just in general, this is the best comic book writing translation to screen I think I've ever seen. I think I can stand on that.
Yeah, no, the a lot of the one-liners, those are those things that we talked about it last week, where who had a one-liner that I guffawed at. I was like, or not guffawed. I heard it and was like, ugh. But I'm like, no, that's when you said it, no, that's a good piece of writing. I went, oh yeah, you're right. That's something that I would have read in one of those bubbles and been like, good dad joke. You know, that's
like
they're nailing it.
Gosh dang it, wear a seat, or at least wear a seatbelt or something. Like, I laughed. I thought that was funny.
She totally mommed him and used her powers to put his seatbelt on.
Yeah, and it was like almost tired by that point, but then like the delivery of Cable, where he's like, "Why are you bossing me around?" Like, it was just like so perfect to kind of like call attention to it. They're like, "Oh, they're doing like the parent funny hee thing," like really obvious, and it just made it funnier to me. I don't know why. It just
Yeah, no,
landed.
it definitely worked, and that kind of worked in that spirit and intent where they were showing the family dynamic now. Yes, she's not. I mean, does your clone make you biologically still his?
By
his mother?
Nightcrawler's sentiment, yes. So they
Blood
were
is blood, but family is a choice.
yes, and
It was
that was
perfect.
the direct comparison that we were seeing on screen.
Yeah.
It was great.
So I think they're nailing that, and the trio of Scott, Jean, and Cable. And that I think there was even a line of the nobody messes with the Summers,
Oh yeah.
and I thought that was great. This has I guess I'm going to talk about it now because that's when that line happened. Why was there a Porsche in the Blackbird?
I don't. Yeah. So this is the first time that I'm like, oh, my belief is a little bit unsuspended. The Porsche and the Blackbird, and then that seemingly a faster vehicle than the Jet at outrunning the Sentinels was
Well, I mean, they blew the jet up, so they needed a
right.
mode of
But they
transportation.
caught up to the Jet. They couldn't catch up to the Porsche.
To the Porsche. Yeah.
Just-
It made
just-
no
just-
sense.
It was they made for a fun scene. It made for a fun scene.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm
Yes,
allowing
yes,
it.
absolutely.
But this is the first time I'm like, guys.
Well, and he said something to the fact of, Dad, you have a Porsche.
Yeah, and the smile. I wish it was like a super Porsche or something. Make like little like turbines pop out of it, or so just give it a little bit more like. Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Something
like
that
a
Beast
but
constructed.
by all extent and purposes, it was just a Porsche that he had back there.
Yeah, like something that Beast may have like beefed up and souped up to be like the new thing. I mean, she did comment on how many Blackbirds they've already gone through. So
Yeah, that's
like,
so I think that was also a
Second
good
one, at
call to
least?
like. It's 3 within the season, so there like 3 months have kind of gone by since everything started hitting the fan with 97. So
yeah. Okay.
that's a good lapse of time because by all extent and purposes for what we're like, this is just like bam, 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 everything's happening rather quickly. But we're talking about over the course of 3 months from episode 1 to here.
And they're doing the family structure is a good. We see the family structure with Scott, Jean, and Cable. We see that they're also supporting Rogue, who is now incapacitated in bed, and everyone's fighting for her to protect her. And then there's the weird juxtaposition of Bastion. They sent whoever this operative was in the future sent Cable to Bastion's house, and then we find out his mom. He turned his mom into a sentinel.
The whole village. Oh, that was the line that I wanted to bring up earlier.
yeah,
It's like the villagers have got the pitchforks. That was a good one from Cable. But yeah, he turned his whole hometown. He pulled the whole hot fuzz maneuver. It's like everybody in the town.
Oh, that's what your note was, the hot fuzz, and I was like, I was preparing myself, and I didn't catch the hot fuzz. But yes, he turned the whole place. He went the whole hot fuzz route. But yeah, there was a very interesting. That he kind of doesn't care about his fam. I mean, he's obviously a villain, and his master plan is to take over, and
so
everyone is subject to it.
Here's where that works. He thinks he has just made everybody normal because I'm your mother.
Yeah,
you're normal.
Yeah.
So now, by all everybody's like him now. So now he's normal.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. What's our next topic? Rewatchability. Where they are taking this. I mean, I've already watched this episode through twice before recording this.
So pretty high rewatchability chance.
Pretty high rewatchability. It was go. We had it was this nice slow build up, and then everything hit the fan, and it was just everybody is being thrown and beaten and lasers, and it doesn't stop until the end of the episode.
No.
If the next two have a real high bar to jump, which I'm assuming are going to at least meet that bar, if not exceed that bar.
Several sharks to jump.
Yeah. I guess is that a bad in term jumping? We don't want to jump the shark. The jumping the shark is a bad thing.
Is it bad in comic books though? Is it bad in a series like this? I feel like jumping the shark is the nature of like because you're always upping the scale. You're always upping like the depth and breadth of what the risks are. You're always upping the big bad. Like that is the nature of your superhero franchises. You have to keep jumping the shark.
Yeah, but jumping the shark is the point where it becomes so ridiculous and that we don't want to watch it. That's why like that's that phraseology like. Fonzie was this, hey, and then he literally jumped a shark on water skis, and you're like, okay, we've gone too far. Like we've gone too far. We've gone too far. Right. That's no reining it back. But no. Yes, jumping the bar, we will jump the bar. Yes, let's meet that bar or jump over it. Absolutely. This episode was on full throttle, and I have a feeling the next two episodes are also going to be full throttle.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously I've rewatched it once already. Probably will go back to pick up. I mean, I'm going to have to go back to grab stills. So I'm going to be rewatching it a third time at this point. And as a whole story arc of at least these 3 episodes will be great to rewatch and see where that's going to land.
Going back, speaking of going back, it's something that we did kind of glaze over with like the Spirit and Intent was the family dynamics. So we're seeing a lot of family dynamics. We're seeing X-Men holistically as a family unit. We're seeing Rogue, Nightcrawler as a family unit. We're seeing the Summers as a family unit. But we're also seeing Sunspot's family. And there was a different choice made in that family dynamic.
Certainly was.
So something to consider that like we're seeing a lot of the good family choices to be made, but now we have also too with Bastion like converting his mother into a Sentinel program abomination, and Sunspot's mother just turning him into be sent to the gulag.
That was pretty. They gave up pretty. I don't say they gave up pretty easy, but they didn't bother. Like they got to that point and they're like, well, I guess we're just going in.
I think that cornered. Like they were kind of hosed. Like it was going to be that way, so they got caught.
Yeah. Oh, the other family unit I would say would be Morphin Wolverine. Again, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
But they're as we noticed they kind of just are there together, almost in every scene. They're just kind of buddy.
They're the single. They're like they're the boys.
Okay, let's go to the overall. Unless you have anything else to say in the rewatchability section.
No, I think it's just being part of a 3-parter. There's going to be some innate rewatchability, like value to that
bigger storyline. Yeah.
You'll see like, oh yeah. Well,
so then
that's going to lead up to this. I can see it now.
In our overall thoughts and predictions, one of Morph's lines of another dystopian future that Wolverine gets to live through was, I thought that was great. I started off this whole show hating Morph because he was the dick, and now we're getting to the end, and I'm like, all right, I kind of like the guy.
Right.
He's kind of your stupid little brother. You're like, God damn it.
Side note of clarification, I think technically they're making Morph non-binary as far as pronouns go, so I don't know how to manage that going forward, but something to think about.
They are Morph?
Yeah, they're Morph.
They are Morph. So what are any overall thoughts, predictions, anything on this one?
It's hard to predict. There's a lot of setup here. I want to know if Xavier is going back in the wheelchair, or like what that looks like, because it's his armor set that makes him able to walk.
You didn't watch the trailer,
huh?
There was another trailer.
No,
Final trailer.
No.
Yeah, they dropped another one just Monday. I think it was Monday.
Okay, so he goes back in the chair.
Yeah, we see him wipe off the logo and the like it's the yellow of the chair.
Okay.
He wipes off the dust off it.
Okay, interesting.
Which I don't know why he wouldn't just bring the suit.
Maybe
you got
both?
the suit.
Well, he looked like he was in the suit when he was in the ship, so that's why I was like,
no, that's the Shi'ar spacesuit that they travel in. I don't think that for non-Shi'ar people. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna have the suit. I think he's gonna stay in his wheelchair and float around.
Interesting.
It's not even a wheelchair at that point. Hover chair.
There we go. Sure. The chair. I just refer to it as the chair. It's easier that way. Magneto big EMP. I wonder, did he just create kind of like a dystopia? How much technology was affected by that, and how long term?
Good question. Yeah, I don't know.
Because we saw how lights going out and stuff, and the robots aren't getting back up. Like if they just shook it off after a little bit, that's one thing. But that looked like it was like I just EMP'd the Earth.
Yeah, I mean it's no different than Cable's small EMP grenade that we saw last time around.
Right.
And then Scott asked him for if he had any more of those, and he was like, "Yeah, no, we got more coming." So yeah, I mean I think that takes out all the bad guys. But yeah, what does that do?
Like,
for
are we in
the
the
rest
Stone
of
Age
the
again? Like,
I mean, yeah, no, that's an interesting one. So that's I have no idea where that's going to lead us.
That might be one. If they glaze over it really quick, I might be a little unsatisfied with that plot point. But if they do address it, like again, all I need is like one line. It's like, oh yeah, good thing we had the
backup generators
woman that put the grid back online. Like something that I need to hear to make that all okay, because it did look like he just blanked, like everything going bye.
The senator also we've addressed that the senator isn't the senator. She's just or whatever she is.
She's a UN rep.
But I don't
of Genosha or something like she's
because
Genoshan representative of the United States or something like that.
Okay, well, there was a speculation that was Mystique, and that's seemingly not the case.
I don't think that's a no yet. It could change.
It's not a no yet, but I think at this point we would have addressed. I think at this point she would have turned into Mystique and been like, "Ha-ha, I did it."
Depends on who she's working for.
True.
Because if she's for herself, there's no advantage to revealing herself at that point even. But I think at this point, I don't think there's enough information to disqualify that theory yet.
Okay.
Unless she's actually dead. I cannot remember if she died in the series or not.
She did not.
Okay.
She was shot, and the Rogue and Nightcrawler saw her get shot, so they presumed that she was dead and had to leave. They were like,
okay, so no body, no death.
She took the bullet for them, and they had to get out of there, and she ended up walking away and alive, but they thought she was dead because she took the bullet.
So she's somewhere out there for sure.
She's somewhere out there, yes. One thing that I wanted to point out, or thought that was fantastic, was that we've never, or at least I've never seen the inside of Nightcrawler's Banff.
Yeah, that was
like
more
stretching and so good. Like they took those rigs and really pushed them to the limit so we could see.
We are breaking model here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they almost had to just draw a whole new arms for him, for at least for Wolverine as he's getting pulled back from that. But that was A+ in my book. I was thought that was so awesome.
Yeah, there is no. I think this is the next. So I think into Spider-Verse gave us a huge jump in what you can do with stylized CGI. I think this is more applicable. I think we've shown that the Spider-Verse style can be applied because it worked really well with Puss in Boots. But this is just so much more comic book than or maybe it's not more comic book. Okay, so Spider-Verse is more comic book. This is more 90s cartoon, which I think like if you did Ninja Turtles like this, I know people want to see Batman Beyond, they want to see Batman animated series. I know DC said like, James Gunn's not really feeling it. But there's other Marvel IPs like the Amazing Spider-Man storyline redone or something like that. I'm sure there's countless the original Iron Man run through. Like
I think DC will see the success of this and be able to maybe rethink their decisions to make this more applicable. I mean, they've been doing they already have a lot of their own animated stuff, but I guess I don't see it hitting a lot of mainstream. And so that's where they need to figure that out. Like, unlike where you had your Batman Beyond and the other Batman, the animated series that was on television.
Zeta Project. That's also one I would love to see.
I don't know what that is.
That one's obscure. I think it's a spin-off of Batman Beyond, but I'm not 100% sure. Static Shock.
Okay.
Static Shock would be a great one.
Nope. Don't know what that one is.
Oh, my God.
Sailing over my head. With
You Gen Xer. You monster. You didn't experience peak animated television.
Yeah, no, I was out getting a job while you were at home watching cartoons.
Turning my brain off, watching TV with my lollipop and my propeller hat. But I think if the tech gets out of the bag to where more, because like this would have saved Cartoon Network, like all the Cartoon Network shows in this. I know they did some. Like Ed, Edd and Eddy would be a great one for this style because that's very line work and silhouette heavy, which is kind of what we're working with here. So I think there's just so much for the future of animation with letting this tech out of the bag. I don't think Disney will do that, but
yeah. And then this also, I think it has, like we talked before, this has the ability or shows that they can take Marvel can take any of their comic book properties and make a great animated show from it that done right, given
great
the time.
Looking. Yes, like we still have to like this is setting a high bar for me personally, and when we do future Gen Wars conversations, like
writing,
having good writing. It's I'm a seasoned hater, as people should know. Like we made this show because I am such a hater on things, and I can't do that here. So I'm really waiting for something to come out for me to just rip to shreds. But it just speaks so highly of like the production value and the writing of this show because I'm don't have a lot to work with to hate on.
Yeah, no, we will hate on other things in other Gen Wars episodes. So stay tuned for more Gen Wars episodes, not X-Men 97 ones, but we will bring you some stuff for Steven to hate on for sure.
To bring up. But do you know what you can't hate on? The merch over at the Funky Store, funky.store. This is a collaborative project between Fire Hazard 508 Creations and Funky Games, where we play through quintessential video games. So when you purchase merch from the store, it helps both of us out. We got to do a lot of cool things here on the internets, and those kind of purchases really help us out. So funky.store, there's cool nostalgia merch over there. You know, you're nostalgic. You know, you got your X-Men 97 on. You want to go back to the better time where nostalgia comes from, where it's grown in great fields and it's plucked by your brain. So go check out Funky Store.
Good plug. I like that. I like the fields of nostalgia.
The fields of nostalgia. We're in
I
1993.
I want to walk through and let my hands like clip the tops of the nostalgia.
It's like when you turn on the heat, the furnace for the first time, and all the little dust burns. You're like,
Ooh.
Wonderful.
Or the other. Oh no! What's happening? Panic! Is it burning? Something wrong?
Now that's your adult old man brain. It's not nostalgia that we're looking for here.
All right. So thank you again for joining us for another episode of X-Men 97. Make sure you like and subscribe both here and over at Funky Games. We appreciate all of the support and the love and the comments. So if you have comments or want to engage in any sort of banter about this show, please feel free to leave it in the comments. Both of us check it, and we'd love to have some conversations. So thank you again, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.